Got to be on precision Paula time. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all doing today? All right. Well, thank you for being here for the 2023 State of the University Address. Now, for 120 years, Western has responded to the contemporary needs of our community while preparing our students to meet the challenges of tomorrow. At each step, we've built upon the foundation laid by our forebears while being responsive to emerging societal needs. Today, I want to lay out a vision that bridges where we started, where we are today, and most importantly, where we're going. Let's start at the beginning, so that all may learn. Founded 120 years ago atop Prospect Hill as a normal school, Western was then charged with empowering the next generation of teachers to respond to a growing need for an educated citizenry. As we changed and evolved from a normal school to a college, to a university, and finally to a comprehensive high research university, the belief in the power of education to better the lives of our students and the world around us stayed at the core of who we are. Now, the breadth of subjects that we explored and the methods we employed in our inquiry, discovery, and creativity may have changed, but fundamentally, our mission remains to educate, to enlighten, and to make the world better. We're still the place where answers to the most vexing questions are sought, where we push forward the frontiers of knowledge and understanding of the human condition, and where students come to better themselves in pursuit of meaningful careers and fulfilling lives. Our context has evolved since the dawn of the 20th century, through the surge of the GI enrollments in the post-World War II era, to the coming of age of the baby boom generation in the 60s and the 70s, to the emergence of Gen X, Millennial, and Gen Z generations, and the expanding international presence on campus. After decades of wind at our backs, today we advance our cause in the second most challenging higher education state in the nation. The rate of decline in high school graduates in Michigan for the next few years is predicted to be exceeded only by New Hampshire. Further, we're in a time of growing skepticism about the value of post-secondary education. Pew and Gallup studies have revealed a steady decline in public confidence in American higher education since about 2015. The impact has been real. We step back just about a decade ago in the fall of 2013, 2/3 of those Michigan high school graduates started college within 6 months after they graduated. There were 69,000 of them. By fall of 2022, that figure had dropped from 2/3 to 53%. There were only 53,000 Michigan students enrolling in any college. In just a decade, the in-state college-going population had dropped nearly 25%. Now, on top of this comes COVID-19, and it posed its own challenges for us individuals and collectively as a university. We not only traveled and met those challenges together, we've prevailed together. Last year, we posted a 1.1 percentage point gain in our market share for new undergraduates. This year, new student enrollment is up 2%. Overall graduate student enrollment is up 7.2%, another record. And first to second year retention, it reached 79.8%, a rate exceeded only once in the last 23 years. We're not only attracting students, we're empowering them to cross that graduation stage. We posted our highest 6-year graduation rate in the last 30 years. Our year-over-year improvement was 2.7 percentage points. What this means in real terms is we graduated about 220 more students in 2017 than in previous cohort. These individual lives have been forever changed with the opportunities and the benefits that come from earning a degree. As we all know, 9 out of 10 Broncos who graduate and are quickly employed, work in their chosen field, and in jobs that they like. But make no mistake, our student achievement is a shared one. Each of us, in our various roles, supported our students in accomplishing these record-breaking milestones. The adage that it takes a village is true. And indeed, our WMU community is large and diverse as many small cities. Some of us educate, mentor, and create new knowledge. Others create the IT and physical infrastructure needed to deliver our mission, while others keep our campus beautiful, clean, and safe. Some raise our profile and tout our accomplishments, nurture important relationships with donors in the community, and some recruit our students. Others provide financial aid, healthcare, food service, athletic and artistic entertainment. You heat our buildings and set expectations for our students and employees to ensure this is a great place to learn, work, and play. You provide experience-driven opportunities and connect our students to employers to ensure they see the fruits of their investments here. Each day of your service moves our Broncos one step closer to pursuing their dreams, discovering their purpose, and living fulfilling lives. It's what we want for every single student who comes to us, so full of promise and ready to pursue their goals. Now, as a top-tier research university, we're also advancing the frontiers of knowledge. Externally funded research expenditures saw a 24% increase over the previous fiscal year, totaling $35.3 million. That's the highest level we've seen in the last 21 years. Total awards reached $41.9 million, an 18% increase over the previous years. Western researchers were also issuing 5 different patents during the last year for their inventions. Now, our scholarly excellence isn't just seen in grants, it's demonstrated through the myriad papers we publish, the books we write, the exhibits we curate, the patients we help, and the concerts we perform. It can be seen on a variety of national and international fronts, including the winning of 2 U.S. State Department's highly competitive Fulbright Specialist Awards, a National Science Foundation Career Award, a Carnegie African Diaspora Fellowship, a National Humanities Center Fellowship, and a highly competitive research fellowship through the Center on Public Diplomacy. The Human-Machine Communications Journal, edited by our faculty in the School of Communications, has in just 3 years, risen to become amongst the top 3% of the most cited journals in that field. Our faculty are collaborating on increasing interdisciplinary innovations that integrate the research, education, and clear readiness components of our mission. For example, an interdisciplinary team from the Department of Engineering, Entrepreneurial Engineering and Engineering Management and Biological Sciences have created the STEM Workshop Collaboratory. They secured external funding from the U.S. Department of Education to advance WMU's STEM programs and enhance the STEM pipeline and workforce. We have so many reasons to be proud of our successes as a research university and as an opportunity university. And while I'd love to tell you that this means that the challenges are all behind us now, they're not. Enrollment is and will remain a challenge as projections show that the number of high school graduates in Michigan will fall another 5% in the next 5 years. But even in the face of this challenge, I have every confidence that our future is bright and hopeful. That may seem a little audacious, doesn't it? But I have some concrete reasons for optimism. We're learning as an organization. We're becoming exceptionally good at rising to challenges. And our latest accomplishment proved that we can gain real momentum even in the face of headwinds. While we have momentum on many of the most impactful dimensions of our mission to enrich students' lives and pursue new knowledge, now is not the time to pause. Now is not the time to take your foot off the accelerator. It's time to put the throttle down. There's a short story to illustrate my point. I don't know how many people are podcast fans, but there's a podcast, American Innovations. They recount the historic moment and the days that led up to this first supersonic flight. Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier in a Bell X-1 on October 14th, 1947. It was his 9th attempt. Other pilots and programs had also tried that exact same feat, and they all failed, some disastrously. During a horseback ride just 2 days before, Yeager was thrown from the horse, and he broke 2 ribs. The accident threatened his flight because of the excruciating pain that most assuredly would come from the excessive turbulence that comes when you approach Mach 1, the speed of sound. Additionally, the X-1, the plane that he was going in, had to be dropped from a bomber, a B-29 bomber. And he had to crawl into that space on his own and lock the cockpit door with his right hand. But he couldn't reach anything with his right hand because he'd broken his ribs. So he grabbed a broom handle, got into the cockpit, latched the door with his left hand. So there he sits, broken ribs, cockpit latched, and the plane drops from the B-29. But the drop was a disaster. It nearly put the plane into a stall. He had to burn 70% of his fuel just to get the Bell's X-1 into position. At what point he had one chance. It was now or never. He pushed the throttle forward, fired the 3rd rocket engine, and the plane surged forward with ferocious shaking as it approached Mach 1. An earlier test pilot described these terrifying moments as like trying to fly a straw through a hurricane. But then, suddenly, there was calm. Yeager had punched through the sound barrier at Mach 1.06. It was an incredible feat that paved the way for 70 years of aeronautical innovation. Yeager and his team's success rested on the efforts of many who came before them, but their perseverance through 8 failed attempts, broken ribs, myriad practical challenges, and a bad drop made history. There are parallels in our journey. First, like Yeager, we have learned that success isn't easy, that we must develop novel solutions and be brave in the face of potential and sometimes actual failure. Second, like Yeager and his team, we too were aiming to do something we've never done before. We're proving to our students, their families, Michiganders, our alumni, and strategic partner that we are a university on the move. And for those who may remember the old Avis commercial, we try harder. Now is the time to push further. Now, reaching new heights is critical to our "so all may learn" mission. Reaching higher is who we are at this institution in the pursuit of excellence. Reaching higher will help us thrive in our intensely competitive landscape. Let's first think of our students. They come here wanting to gain an education and earn a degree. Let's dedicate ourselves to helping students earn what they came for, not by lowering the bar, but by providing support so that they can reach higher. Now, when I went to the college, back in the dark ages, I admit, it's not unusual for a dean to stand before the incoming freshman class and say, "Look to your left, look to your right. One of the 3 of you won't be here next year." It was a sort of perverse point of pride to be a low retention place. Elitism was defined by who you kept out. That's not who we are. It's not what our students need from Western. We should not perpetuate that failed model, exclusionary model. We need to be proactive in addressing our students' needs. Being amongst the best at that can be our point of pride. Indeed, this is a goal to which our community has already committed itself. To develop the 2022-32 strategic plan, hundreds of faculty and staff and students spent a year charting our future course. Academic excellence emerged as the first goal in the plan, with student success goals of improved retention and graduation rates as the objective measures of success. As the cost of a college education has been shifted from the public to the students and their families, success outcomes are weighing more heavily in their choices. They loom larger in various rankings and is part of the information that federal government provides to all FAFSA completers. Consequently, as we graduate more students, we'll also become more competitive and attractive to future students. Today, we stand in the middle of the pack amongst public universities. But I'd like to challenge us to move up to number 3 amongst public universities in Michigan in student success over the course of the next decade. Let's aim to achieve a 62% six-year graduation rate by 27-28. That's now just 4 years away and halfway through the strategic plan. That goal will require us to improve at a steady average pace of 1.5 percentage points each year. But just last year, we improved by 2.7 percentage points. This is reachable. And then after we meet that initial goal, let's keep the throttle open and increase it to 68% by 32-33, thereby meeting that goal. To ensure that we're making progress towards that graduation goal, let's also ascend from our record 80% retention rate to 84% by 27-28. That will require an average increase of 1 percentage point a year. But again, we had a 3.3 percentage point increase just last year. We can do this. And once we get there, we shouldn't be content. We should keep moving up until, again, we're third in the state amongst public universities in both retention and graduation rates. But we must never lose sight of the all, and so all may learn. We must also commit ourselves to improving six-year graduation rates amongst underrepresented groups. We must commit to increase our graduation rates amongst our Black and African American students by 8 percentage points in 27-28 and another 9 percentage points by 32-33. Amongst Latino students, we'll improve graduation rates by 4 percentage points in 27-28 and another 6 by 32-33. Both of these goals will close the equity gap while also placing the six-year graduation rate for each group of our students as third in the state. Today, we stand less than 1 percentage point from our highest watermark for six-year graduation. The goals before us are our new sound barrier, and we must break through. And while I can't promise smooth air, our students and the Bronco community are all counting on us. We will do well by doing good. Improved student success will generate a virtuous cycle, where when we raise retention, we lose fewer students. We elevate our reputation. We attract more new students, and then we increase our revenues. Those 3 R's of retention, reputation, revenue are intertwined. And we've already started to see positive results. We're in our 3rd year without a budget cut. Before 2021, we had had 7 of the previous 9 years we had budget cuts. Our recent improvement in retention and graduation enrollment allowed us to exceed our budget assumptions for fall revenue by $3.5 million. Those excess dollars were returned to the colleges to be used at their discretion. Further, if we want to achieve our retention goals set out in today's plan, if we ever get there, it's estimated by 27-28, that midpoint will generate $32 million more in revenue. Those additional dollars will allow us to invest in our faculty and staff and further our mission as a student-centered public research university. We need to continue to work together on faculty staff morale and engagement to ensure that our policies and procedures are equitable and to continue to make investments in the well-being of our community. Now, we spent the past year working on the results of the employee engagement surveys and beginning the implementation of the recommendations of the Racial Justice Advisory Committee. I look forward to collaborating with the Faculty Senate Research Policy Council and the Executive Board on new policies and procedures governing faculty research and travel fund. While this is but one of the sources of research funding in the university, I'm confident that we can come together around new policies and enhanced resources that allow us to increase our research capacity and goals. Now, some may say we're way too ambitious, so that our goals take us into unfamiliar territory. Broncos do hard things. We have become courageous change makers. Our success so far shows that. In fact, you could be arguing we're in the change-making business. Every day, we aim to make the world better. That comes in the form of new discoveries or works of art that move us towards better thinking, better solutions, and a better understanding of our world. We see it when we improve a student's life and make their world bigger through opportunity. It epitomizes what being a responsive university means. Being responsive to the needs of our students and society in an ever-changing world. Now, that doesn't mean letting go of our foundation. It means building on who we are and leading with our strengths. We are building on our success with the historic Empowering Futures gift. It is already fueling support for our enrollment and retention success, while also closing equity gaps for Pell-eligible first-generation students and those from marginalized communities. Ensuring student success isn't a one-size-fits-all model. We need solutions to ensure college accessibility. And we understand that when people begin enrolled, the road to success may still have a variety of obstacles. So with the Empowering Futures initiative, we're taking a wraparound approach to removing those obstacles and educating students holistically. On the financial front, we made Western more accessible by creating the Bronco Promise, which provides free tuition for Michigan students in great financial need. Our inaugural class of scholars already posted higher academic achievement compared to a comparable group in the cohort before. Additionally, housing scholarships paired with Living Learning Committee were introduced to provide both financial and social support. Students who took part of that program exceeded our FIDIAC record-breaking retention rate by 6 percentage points, and gains for Black and African American and Latino students were even bigger. Meanwhile, the new Navigator Network is providing unprecedented one-on-one holistic support. Staff and students in Murray State College and several offices, the Dean of Students, Diversity and Inclusion, Student Engagement, University Recreation, and Financial Aid, they're all working together to provide wraparound supports to our students, ranging from things as simple as reminders to register for classes, or to use academic support resources to addressing acute mental health or other issues that could disrupt a student's progress to graduation. The Student Success Hub is a highly sophisticated piece of technology that allows navigators and advisors and other support staff to have a 360-degree view of a student in real time. Referrals and follow-ups that used to be handled through emails, phone calls, notes, spreadsheets, a variety of things, now can be customized and delivered to our undergraduate student, tailored to meet their particular circumstances in real time. To reduce those disruptors to student progress that may occur outside of the classroom, we've also committed new resources to counseling care and peer educators to address student mental health crisis, while we've expanded our essential needs program to combat food insecurity and meet emergency financial needs. The strategic plan working groups also urged the campus to adopt the Okanagan, thank you. Okanagan? Yeah. Thank you, Candy, for endorsing that, Okanagan. Okanagan International Framework for Health Promoting Universities, as it provides a blueprint for the holistic education ambition set forth in the strategic plan. Earlier this month, the President's Cabinet endorsed and the trustees approved our adoption of the Okanagan Charter, and in just a few weeks, we'll be holding a signing ceremony. We aim to be approximately one of the 25 universities in this country and others around the globe, committing ourselves to a campus culture of compassion, well-being, and equity. Improved health for people who live, learn, work, and play on our campus, and to strengthen the ecological, social, and economic sustainability of our communities and wider society. To improve that school-to-career transition for our students, we're also using the Employer Powering Futures gift to fund the Bronco Lead Internship Program. What sets this program apart is how we structured it to ensure high standards on both sides. Instead of just paying employers, we're reimbursing them for the students' wages. A key milestone away, not only are students, but the employer is assessed for are they delivering a high-quality program. This unique model sets an unprecedented level of partnership and accountability, benefiting both the students and employers. Our participating employers may not have had the resources to pay their students as interns, so we're simultaneously enriching our students and helping the greater community. Almost 90 students and 40 employers took part in this program this past summer as part of the initial cohort. And we're going to expand that to 150 students in the coming year. As Mary Howe, a public and nonprofit administration major who was an intern at a local organization, said, "Now, I've taken grant writing at Western and I know how to do it, but I've never had a cause to apply that knowledge." Mary said her grant writing assignments, quote, 100% connects the dots between what we learned and what we need to know. It really is another step up on the ladder to getting into a career. Now, Mary's story is one of so many that are remarkable and unsurprising at the same time. Internships are but one example of applied or experiential learning experiences offered here at Western. Now, scholars going back to John Dewey have known the power of experiential or active learning. And indeed, even here, the belief in the power of applied learning goes all the way back to our founding, because as a normal school, according to campus history, education students were required to complete an internship or student teaching. Today, more than 9 out of 10 Broncos, both undergraduate and graduate, will have engaged in some form of experience-driven learning by the time they graduate. That learning has great pedagogical value, but some of these experiences also create career pipelines for our students and meet the needs of our state and employers. Considering a recent example, our cold case program. Over the past 4 years, under the leadership of Professor Ashlyn Kirsten, our students have played a vital role in helping the Michigan State Police solve decade-old cold cases. This partnership has achieved remarkable success. They've expanded the capacity of our state police detective force, and they've helped them already solve 2 different homicides. This collaboration was working so well both for our students and the Michigan State Police that earlier this month they announced a new cadet program, a paid cadet program. The state police will pay our students for their help cracking cold cases. It was a proud moment as the first class of Western cadet detectives received their police employee pins. In addition to paid learning, our students will also have a direct pipeline into employment at MSP. Psychology major Jacqueline Cavarrea said that one of her greatest experiences was when a detective on her case asked for her opinion on possible people of interest. It was a pivotal moment for me, Jacqueline explained. It made me realize that I had an impact on the cases that we were working on. Now, this is but one of the examples of our innovative experiential learning programs. Another, under the leadership of Dr. Doug LaPesto and Dr. Derek McIver in our Leadership and Business Strategy program, students developed the Bronco wine brand. It's still marketed by our students today, and the proceeds go to student scholarships. Students today can also partner with colleagues from Kalamazoo College at Sleeping Giant Capital, a private equity firm, to work on real-life projects for corporate clients. Another business school example is the TechNext program under Barclay Johnson, who takes our students to visit startup companies run by alumni and others in Silicon Valley, opening our students' eyes to opportunities they never considered before. In our College of Aviation, Delta Propel, United Aviate, SkyWest, and AAR all offer direct-to-career programs that provide students with industry exposure and experience before they graduate. In our College of Fine Arts, students work on design problems alongside local employers through the Richmond Institute for Design and Innovation. In Family and Consumer Sciences, our MODA registered student organization plans and organizes a first-class fashion show that gives students practical experience in the business and design aspects of that industry. In equally impactful and more traditional ways, students are changing the lives of elementary and secondary school students, patients in our clinical care units, and beneficiaries of local nonprofits, even before graduation. All these examples of experience-driven learning paired with strong internal partnerships have brought added resources that enhance our students' experience and make them and us more competitive. Experience-driven learning is in our DNA. Amplifying this strength is one of the objectives designed to help design our academic excellence goal in the strategic plan. It calls on us to engage every student in experiential education to foster lifelong learning, deepening their understanding through application, increase connections between WMU and the broader community, and prepare for meaningful, long-lasting careers. Now, our strategic plan is an expression of our collective ambitions. As I mentioned before, a broad cross-section of our campus community was engaged in its development. And it provides a path for us to navigate through these challenging headwinds. To further this goal, today I'm announcing 2 new ventures designed to fuel our ambitions and innovation. They're significantly supported by the Empowering Futures gift, as well as strategic support from several campus divisions. First, the Experience-Driven Learning Accelerator grants will provide financial resources for experience-driven programs and efforts. These grants will help those programs that are already well established scale up their impact on students and their success. Proposals must complement a curricular offering and have had at least 2 semesters of successful experience and show how they integrate the classroom knowledge with applied needs and advance career readiness and advance student readiness, retention, and graduation. Initially, we plan to offer up to 10 grants ranging from $5,000 to $50,000. Second, experience-driven incubator grants will provide new resources for emerging experiential-driven programs. Their purpose is to help new or nascent programs establish a strong footing and grow. Again, applicants should show a connection between their plan to integrate knowledge in the classroom with needs on the outside in the career. They should advance career readiness and student retention and graduation efforts. We intend to offer up to 10 of those grants as well, and they would range from $5,000 to $25,000 in value. For both grants, I encourage you to integrate our crucial research mission. The STEM Collaborative we've already talked about is an example of some such effort. In addition, expanding undergraduate research is another exciting possibility. Also, ideas that could lead to more external funding would also receive consideration in both grants. Now, I hope you're as excited about these opportunities as I am. I can't wait to see your ideas. Some final thoughts before we enjoy some refreshment and some fellowship. We must never lose sight of our immense potential and our power to transform lives through educational experiences we offer here at Western. Each student who joins our campus comes with their own dreams and goals and desires to discover their purpose and to make a difference in their lives. Indeed, when students join our community of learners, we tell them that they're beginning a journey to prosperity and a life well lived. I want to tell you one last story of a Bronco who took that assertion to heart. Aisha Taj, she graduated in 2021 as part of the first cohort of product design program students. In 2020, she landed a graphic design internship in Texas at an aircraft manufacturer. Aisha looked for ways to help the company in business that had been in business since 1935 and hoped that those suggestions might level up her career. Now, her ingenuity and Bronco boldness, combined with a high-quality education she received at Western, gave her the courage to make some suggestions to the CEO of the company. He said, "Have you considered the potential of having a designer on the engineering and innovation side, the concepting side?" She said, "That's really where the implementing design can set you apart from the rest of your industry." This audacious Bronco's single question as a student ultimately propelled her to a position as Bell's first flight industrial design engineer, even before she walked across the stage at Miller. It was one of 3 positions she had to choose from at Bell after her comments to the CEO. In small world, huh? Bell, might remember a little earlier. Bell was the company globally renowned for its innovation. It was also the company that built the X-1, the Chuck Yeager flew. Yeager flew Bell's X-1 to break the sound barrier 76 years before. Our Bronco, Aisha Tai, is joining them as a pioneer, furthering aesthetics of Bell's helicopters and other vehicles using vertical lift technology. Aisha's story reflects what our university stands for, preparing each of our students for a meaningful career and a life well lived, creating novel solutions for problems, and making the world better as a result. That's why we must be undaunted as we break through our own version of the sound barriers. We can refine our boundaries and demonstrate that our credo, so that all may learn, it's not just a possibility at Western, it's a promise. Thank you.